Hi guys, welcome back to Messy and Beautiful. I'm Sarah Jane. Thanks for joining me today for another video. I'm unboxing my own advent calendar. That sounds really crazy. So I have an Etsy shop, if you didn't already know, called Scribbles By Starlight, and last year I did an advent calendar and I was completely overwhelmed with orders and stuff. And so this year I decided to undertake the task again, and I was once again really overwhelmed with orders, but I love it. I absolutely love it. And I thought that I would unbox the whole thing, just to kind of give you a bit of an insight into what I've been doing, where I've been and why I've been away for so long. This is mainly the reason. My day job and stuff too, and my kids, but like every spare waking minute has been in this calendar. So I hope you really enjoy this video and you enjoy watching everything that is in there. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what I've done and why I've done it and that kind of stuff as well as we go through. I am going to move it all to one side because there is a lot of stuff. I decided not to put it all in a box, and I decided not to wrap up day 25, which was a bonus day if you placed an order early enough in the year, because I've got one that's on my desk anyway, so I thought I would just show that one. And I've packed all the boxes away, all the shipping boxes away, so I don't have a spare one to be able to kind of put it in the box the way that it would have been presented. Essentially all that's missing is a piece of tissue paper wrapped around the whole thing. And I did have one of my inserts that basically explains the premise of my calendar. So this year I based it on the Aurora Borealis. Oh, I should have said before we get too stuck in, the noise in the background is my heater. It's freezing in my shed. I am not filming without it on at the minute. I just can't do it. I'll be numb by the end of it. So my husband earlier on in the year was lucky enough to see the Northern Lights when he was out like really late one night, and he was in the middle of the countryside, and there's just these beautiful pictures of him being outside, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's beautiful. And that instantly made me go, I want to do something based around that. Then later on in the year, actually not that long ago, I was making this calendar and I'd already done most of the designing and stuff. We were lucky enough to see it in our own back garden, in the south of England, which is just incredible, because it's something I've always wanted to see. And you could see it, like, you didn't have to look at it through a camera or anything. The sky was pink and green and it was just beautiful. And it kind of made me like spur me on to get to the end of processing all of this stuff, because up until that point it was really difficult for me to find the motivation to see it through, because I was just so tired and I just never had enough time. But now I've done it, I'm really proud of myself, and I wanted to share all of that with you guys. So my little insert just basically says thanks for your order, and this is the reason why I did this. And it doesn't really give a lot of detail about the story behind it, but I kind of wish it did now. But there's always going to be things I would change every time I do one of these, including nearly the entire design at the very last minute, and I talked myself out of it. And I think actually I'm going to save that and use that in something next year instead. What I decided to do instead, what I would have changed instead, but I might do that, something with that in the shop next year, I don't know. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So yeah, that's kind of all the insert says really. I had 4 options this year. Last year I only had 2 options. I had standard vertical or B6, and it was 24 days or nothing. This year I decided to do a 12-day and a 24-day, but in hindsight I feel like perhaps a 24-day is the way to go for me, because I had so many ideas. Even all the stuff I made for the 12-day calendar turned out to be 14 days, so I had to cut 2 of them. I mean, I didn't have to, but you know, that's what I kind of was trying to stick within my limits of what I had time to make and stuff. So I ended up cutting a couple of them out, and there's a few products that didn't make it into this calendar that I might put in either in the shop next year or maybe in next year's advent, I don't know. But yeah, I feel like it worked out in the end, but my goodness, did it take a long time to get here. Yeah, so standard vertical or B6, and then I did 12-day or 24-day, but I think if I do it again, I'm either just going to do 12 days or I'm just going to do 24 days, and I'm not going to do anything in between. And I'm still like unsure of the pricing, because you know, price points are always hard. It's always hard to judge. But I like to think I was very generous for how much it cost. It was £65 plus the postage. I'm keep moving my hand up because I've got a hat on, so my head's a bit like, you know, when your hair's like all like digging into your neck. So I've got that going on as well, but I'm not willing to take my hat off either because it's so cold out here, and I've lost my train of thought again. I'm good at this, aren't I? It was £65 plus the postage, and the price point's always hard to judge. I still think I really underestimated how long these things would take me to make, and perhaps next year I might go back to a little bit more of what I did last year rather than putting in quite as much stuff as I did this year. But by the by, I hope you enjoy the unboxing, and I know I've taken a little bit while to get going, but I hope you it gave you a bit of a flavour for it. I've basically got a selection of envelopes, and then all the like present-y type ones are all hand wrapped by me, so I had great fun wrapping up loads of gifts for everybody. I'm not doing the 12-day calendar, I'm just going to unbox the 24-day calendar just so you can see what was in it as a whole, and you can see the whole collection. And I'll talk to you about it and stuff, and there is a link to my Etsy shop down below if you did want to go and check it out. This stuff, some of it will be coming to the shop, some of the leftovers will be coming to the shop, but most of but I don't think I'm going to be doing extra boxes this year like I did last year. I just haven't got the energy for it, if I'm honest. I need to kind of step away and just have a bit of time just to play and draw again, and you know, but yeah, so some of it will be in the shop. But this was more just an excuse that I wanted to shove it off to people that would appreciate it, and so I can have a chat about it, and get some feedback as well, just so that I know, kind of can reassess for next year. Anyway, I've been talking for about 15 minutes all about this because this has been my life for the last 4 months, I would say. 4 months it's taken me to put all of this together. But yeah, on to the next one. So day one is some stickers. We have got a 2025 vinyl sticker, and it's a matte vinyl with the like galaxy background that I created, all hand drawn and designed by myself. I thought about putting an overlay on this, but actually this year I didn't really fancy an overlay. I just wanted something matte, and I really love it. So that's my 2025, and then I've got a little sheet that is 2025 in 2025 with the numbers 1 to 25 and a little bit of deco, just because I thought it would be a fun list to do. And 25 is a nice round number, isn't it? So my Aurora 2024 calendar is based all around 2025. So that's day one. I should have said spoiler alert, shouldn't I? But I would like to think that you would know that by going on to an Advent unboxing video, rather than me, you know, having to warn you at the beginning. At this point in the year, I like to think you would know what's in an Advent unboxing video. Anyway, day two. Nice big envelope now. I'm really struggling to remember what I put in this, you know. Isn't that funny? Some boxes. So I've got some hand-drawn box stickers, and they're like the journaling kind. Fun colours. I love the pastels, and I'm always torn between doing really pastel colours and really bright colours, because I like both. So I kind of try and pick something in between. But yeah, so two sheets of boxes. Then day three, I feel like I'm going to get through this really quick now, aren't I? Are some day covers. This is the B6 calendar. The A5 calendar or standard vertical calendar, these sorts of sheets are just bigger. So it's the same stuff, it's just bigger. So that's the first one with the gradient of all the pinks. I don't know if that was the cat, a pigeon, or somebody at my door. Then this one is like all the navy blues. And I have had similar colours to these before, but they are a different colour palette to what I've had before in the shop. And then this one, and I absolutely love this because I love these colours. And I wish I put more of this colour in the calendar, actually, in hindsight. That's one of the changes I would have made. But yeah, so lots of day covers. Then day four this is really unique to my shop, I believe. I don't think I've seen this with anybody else. Is a planner band. So I've put in a little like piece of instructions on how to use it. So use this planner when your planner gets too chunky for a cover, or store your 2024 planner neatly on a shelf. I need to get a planner now, don't I? So you can see how it works. They're all packed away. I think I've got an A5 journal I can use, and it's suitable for most A6. I'd say A6 is probably a bit small unless you have a really chunky planner, but B6 and A5 planners. So I've put in a little insert about it, because it's just a piece, like this is what it looks like. So if you just got that without the instructions, I was like, people aren't going to know what it is. But the intention is that you essentially, you've probably seen these on my thing before, but you just put it around your planner like that. So if you have the notebook style planner that is really difficult to close, this is elastic, so it stretches, and you can make it as big as you need it to, and it will keep your planner secure and closed together. And I don't know, it's probably not as unique as I think, and I imagine similar things have definitely been done before, but not this sort of style. So yeah, was kind of a gamble product. I was like, I'm just going to give it a go and see if people like it. Because I have made them before, but I've made them on a much smaller scale, so they're about this thin, and it is just intended just to store your planner shut. But actually I tried to make it a bit more decorative. And I spent ages choosing these buttons, like ages and ages, and now I've done it. I really love them, really love them. But they're also not only handmade in my house, they're also hand sewn by me. So everything, you know, as far as I can, everything is made by myself. But yeah, I'm just going to move that journal to one side. What are we up to now? Day 5. I've mixed up all the orders because I was taking a picture of this before I started this video. So now I'm hunting through stuff. I actually forgot what I put in here. I'm going to move that as well because that's not really part of the product, is it? So day 5. This is an oops sticker that I kept for myself. So excuse the slip down. I basically pulled it off the sheet too quick. But I did a goals sticker of my little blossom pouring a paint can full of hearts. And then I thought I would also include some bullet points because I really love bullet points and I use them a lot. So if you are goal setting, you can kind of either use them as deco or you can use them as bullet points as well at the same time. If you're writing down your goals, you can maybe use these for like your goal numbers of 1, 2, 3 or whatever you want to call them. And then these could be the deco around the outside. I kind of tried to think of something to make it more of a spread than just a goal sticker. So yeah, that's day 5. Then day 6 I think is here somewhere. I'm sure I've just seen it. It's a big one. There it is. So day 6. I'm gutted. I cannot get this colour envelope anymore. Like they've changed it. It is now this colour. Which, whilst I still love this colour, this is my shop colour. This is not. So I'm gutted. Anyway, I digress. Then I did a sheet called Refill My Well. And I was going to put in an instruction sheet with this as well, but I thought I don't want to put in too many, like, this is what you're going to use it for, because actually it's free for you to use it however you want to use it. Someone might look at this and get completely different level of inspiration than what I got. But I was kind of thinking about the things that I like to do when I'm really low energy, because I've had so many periods this year of being really low energy, really tired, like overwhelmed and just really struggling to do anything. This is kind of the list that I've called upon to like kind of just replenish my energy, look after myself. I suppose it's kind of a self-care thing, but I didn't want to call it self-care because to me, self-care is more of a mental health, when my mental health is really struggling and I just need to get dressed or take a shower or, you know, whatever it may be. It's not things that are a bit of like pamper time. You know, pamper time for me is not a self-care thing. That's not what I associate with self-care. Self-care is just your general look after yourself, eat healthier, blah, blah, blah. Whereas this, it was like cook a meal. So don't just eat a really nice meal that you really enjoy, cook a meal, because you're spending the time to cook and the focus and the just being a bit more present. And these are the kind of things that I like to do. Now, gaming binge and pamper time, grab a coffee, probably not really me, but I did try to think of things that other people would want as well as what I would like. But I love things like hiding in my headphones, reading a book, wearing cosy socks, going for a drive, that's a big one for me. Obviously a cup of tea, always needed. And cooking is something that I really love to do, and I do find it does help to replenish my energy because it just puts my focus somewhere else for a little while. So yeah, I just thought that was that was just something a little bit different that I wanted to put in, and I think it's mostly just because I have struggled with that stuff this year. Right, what number were we up to? Number 7 we're up to. Of course, 7 already, storming through. I say that, but if you haven't seen me before, you probably think I could talk the hind legs off a donkey. You would be correct, by the way. I'm just saying. I I love a chit chat. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry at all. If you don't like it, you wouldn't be here, would you? Right. I don't know where number 7's gone. Where's number 7? I haven't got number 7, which isn't good, is it? I'm just wondering if I've got another kit I can show you instead. So, because I'm missing a number 7, I haven't got time to... It's really late at night. I'm not going to go and recut one now, and I'm halfway through, so I want to keep going. Basically, I had a last-minute order, and my calendar ended up getting pulled apart and given to somebody else. Because I was like, do you know what? I don't want to let them down. So, I didn't want to like it to be late for December. So, I gave them a lot of the stuff out of my calendar. It might be in my Oops tray, actually. Because that also happened. I take the Oops stuff usually, but I've got another kit here that's a B6 kit, because you won't miss too much with day 7 because it's functional. So other than the colours of this, the layout and the type of stickers is exactly the same. So you get like your little journaly kind of blobs, some habit trackers, a set of date dots, and I'll see if I can find one in my... This is last year's Advent. This is the 2023 Advent calendar. That I will see if I can find those ones and then maybe put it in at the end. And if not, I will make myself one anyway, because I'm going to want to use it at some point. Because everything I make, I do use myself as well. So I'm just going to, in fact, let's leave those out as just a... We'll tuck them at the back, but just so you can see the whole thing kind of as it is. But we'll tuck those back there because they're the wrong colour. I'm sorry about that, but it's like 10 o'clock at night, so I'm not getting my cutting machine out now. And I'm not stopping because I don't know when I'll be back to be able to film this. I don't know when I'm going to get the time. Right, so day 8, we move on. Day 8 is my very first set of sticky notes. Yeah, this is kind of where it all started. Like, this is one of the first pieces of art I did for this calendar. I did the background first, and then I kind of went from there. And I really love them, actually. They've turned out really nicely, and I was really worried about this because I'm not very good with, like, I can do the drawing and the artwork, but I'm not very good with the design software. So I was really worried these wouldn't work out, but they have. So yeah, they are sticky notes, and there's not a lot to say about them because they're just sticky notes, but there you go, day 8. I'm quite proud of that one. That was one of my outsourced products, because whilst I know how to make sticky notes at home, I'm not about to start doing that because that would take me a blooming lifetime. Right, day 9. Day 9 is a mini envelope. I love these little envelopes. We know what I'm like for little cute stuff. This is just cute stuff. But I have done some seasonal die cuts. So that's winter, and it's got a hollow overlay because these I just thought the artwork's called for having some sort of sparkle with it. That one's the winter one, and then that one's spring. And hopefully that does it justice. I loved drawing the little characters as well, the little cutesy ones, so I might try and do a little bit more of that sort of thing because that was really good fun for me. 10 is a big one. Now the envelopes and stuff were different sizes, different colours and different sizes depending on which calendar you bought, so they weren't always going to be the same. Number 10 is a word of the year sticker, which is this one. Little Pekin Pip and some alphas. And kind of this sort of background and this theme kind of features on most things in the calendar. There's a few exceptions, so like these ones, it's not on here because I thought that was a wholly separate thing. But I did try and kind of put a few different touches in there, here and there. But yeah, so that is the next one. So 11's another big one. And this is another one that I was like, do you know what, I'm going to have to put it all in one envelope because I've done it now and I've designed it now and I didn't have enough days. I feel like it could have gone on for about 40 days, but, you know, there comes a point where you've just got to say, like, you're done. But yeah, so got some vellum and some papers. So that is the first one, which hopefully shows up well enough. Let's move this. I feel like everything needs to move out from underneath it. I don't think I've got anything white, have I? Have I got a white piece of card? Here we go. Now, I debated at the very last minute not folding them, but it was too late. I just had to get them in the post. So there we go. You can see that a bit better now. So that's the first one. That's the vellum. So I debated it, but I thought most people use them as A5 at the most, A5. And then that's the paper, wrong way up. And then that's the back of the paper. But yeah, most people use A5 and down, don't they? So I know some people are in like B5, and very rarely I see A4 or letter size. So it was just kind of a judgment call, really. And then there's another paper, which is a beautiful kind of starry rainbow. And then the back of it is this. Now, I know that, like, this will make sense. A little bit later, it will make sense. And then this is the vellum. So it's the same design, it's just on a vellum. And I debated I did more vellums and I did more papers, but I was like, do you know what? I've just got to put them in together, and I just had to pick the best two of each. So this is what we've ended up with. So you get 2 vellums and 2 papers, one in the rainbow and one in the Aurora design. What number was that? 11. Why do I keep forgetting what number we're on? Number 12 is another itty bitty envelope. This one is a set of die cuts that I thought about packaging up separately, but I quite liked them just in the little envelope. And if you buy from me at an event, I tend not to put my stuff in plastic packaging. When it comes to these, I put them in handmade envelopes, so I thought I'm just going to put them in a mini envelope. But I've got Blossom and her hearts. And then there's this one. And there's the whole gang going on a rainbow slide. And then this one. They were really fun to design. I feel like I could have kept going with those as well. I got to 4 and then I was like, do I keep going? I was like, I've got to call it at some point. I just have to stop drawing and start making. Because I think that was one of the last few things I did before I started playing with designs and stuff. But I was like, there comes a point where you've just got to get on with it, doesn't there? Right, so day, what are we on? 13 is your months in the 2 types of font. So this one matches the whole kind of collection, and then this one matches the Refill My Well and the 2025. And I do kind of use this. It's got like a little starburst on it. It's hard to see because the font is so small, but that was kind of where that came from. I'm going to chuck you over here. You're going to have to cover up, that can cover up those boxes, can't it? And then 3 lots of date dots, because for me, these are my oops ones as well, so if they're a bit dodgy, that's why. For me, it's never enough just to get one thing in an envelope. I love to get more than one thing in an envelope. I just think it makes it that much more exciting. So I threw in some date dots as well. So there's 3 months worth, and they match the colours of the day covers too. So there's those. I'm running out of room. I am looking at it now going, it's no wonder it took me so long. Right, 13, so I'm up to 14, which is one of these ones. One of my little hand wrapped goodies that I really don't want to unwrap because I spent ages wrapping these. But I thought about doing my own wrapping paper as well. Like for quite a while, I got quotes and everything, and I just went, I can't do it. I was like, I have not got the time to wait for it to be printed. I left it too late basically. But it's a washi tape, and it's this washi tape. Now I am going to show you this because I have one, my little trusty sidekick, so I'm going to leave that one sealed because otherwise I can't sell it. But this was kind of the one that I opened to test and show everybody. I might steal that white card back again as well. So it's Blossom with all the stars on a really dark, like inky blue background. I'm just going to use this for the minute because it's washi, so it will pull up nice and easily as well. So that is the first one. And the colours weren't quite how I wanted, but actually I don't think that it really makes a huge amount of difference to what I wanted it to look like overall. and I am really pleased with it. Every time I get a washi tape in, I love it. I'm really excited by washi tape. So yeah, there's that one. I'm going to just tuck one to one side. What was that, 14? Must be, because there's 15. And then 15 is another teeny tiny envelope, which are the other two of the seasonal. And it started with a sea turtle. That's where it started. My daughter got a sea turtle like cuddly toy thing, and I just went from there basically. That's where these ideas came from. But I really love drawing them. And then for autumn I did a little mouse. And again, it matches, and I've kind of tried to put the hearts in with the colour theme, and everything's kind of colour coordinated to the season. But yeah, so, and that's my full set, if you like, of the seasonal die cuts. So what are we up to now? 16? Oh, 16. This one was a headache one. This was a real headache. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And I'm not joking, I've got a whole bag of these that I haven't, like, that weren't good enough to go in the calendar. I spent, this is probably the most worked on item, I would say. I feel like it's going to be a massive anticlimax now, but for me, achieving what I wanted to achieve, it was a massive, massive draw. But it is a clip. But it's probably not the best image. I've picked probably one of the worst ones for myself. But I've got Pip and Callie on a cloud, like this, on a clip. And my goodness me, what a labour of love that was. Like, I'm really, really proud of them. And they turned out just how I wanted them in the end. But wow, the amount of hours and hours and hours. And this one was the one that I was really stressed about. And I was like, I'm just going to have to think of something else. I'm just going to have to drop it. And I was like, I don't want to drop it. I've spent all this time on it. So yeah, like, honestly, I look at that clip now and I'm like, oh, what was I thinking? But at the same time, it worked out in the end. It just took a long time to get there. Right, so day 17 is more of the kit. So the B6 kit has 6 sheets. The standard vertical kit has 5 sheets. So is it this one? Yeah, this one, if you had the standard vertical, you would only get 1 sheet of stickers. That being said, there's roughly the same number of stickers on the B6 as there is on the standard vertical. I think on the standard vertical, the only difference is you're missing 2 strips of washi tape. Of the like washi stickers, and otherwise it's all practically the same, and things are just sized down on the B6, so you kind of get the same, the deco's the same, but the headers and stuff are all sized down. So that is the deco sheet with the headers on it for the B6 kit, and all of my kits are in this format as well in the shop. And then this one with all your scripts on it as well, a few little icons. I'm not a big fan of icons, I don't really use them, but I like to include them in my kits because I know other people do. And then some washi, and your sort of what I would call your menu boxes with 7 rows on them. So yeah, if you had standard vertical, it would just be 1 sheet, but there we go. So that's the next 2 sheets of the sticker kit. Kind of losing stuff now, aren't I? I'm losing stuff. I'm gonna have to pull that down, pull it back up again. There we go. Right, I've just kind of shifted everything slightly because I'm starting to lose things. Right, what day was that? 17, 18, no, 17. That was 16. So day 17. Oh, what happened? Did I have 217? Oh, that's why. There you go. There's my day number 7. I've just found it. Right. Oh, crikey. Right, so I don't need these anymore. But you can see that my kit format is exactly the same. What an idiot. Look at this. Right, I'm going to turn my heater off now. I'm getting too warm. It's nice and toasty in here now. It's finally warmed up. What a fool. Right, there we go. Well, that's what you missed on day number 7. I have to laugh or I'll cry. So yeah, your date dots and your checklists and stuff. This is why we ended up with 217 envelopes. Why did I not realise that? I hope I haven't ballsed up anybody else's calendar. Sorry for my language. And I hope I haven't. But No, I haven't. I know I haven't, because I was so careful. I didn't want to get, like, I didn't want anyone to get annoyed by the fact that their calendar had a mistake in it. So I was really, really careful with that stuff. That's just an afterthought, I think. I think I shoved it in an envelope because it was my oops one. You can tell it's my oops one. Well, I can tell it's my oops one. And I just put it in an envelope, and I clearly stuck day 17 instead of day 7 on it, but never mind. Day 18 is another hand-wrapped, funky-looking present. I love these. I love these. I'm so proud of these. There's a couple of things in here that I'm like, this turned out just how I wanted it to. So, this sprang from an idea of stuff I already do, but actually I've thought of a different use for it since as well. I've got so much paper and stuff already. So much rubbish. I mean, it's not, it's recycling, isn't it? Because it's all paper. That was the intention, was it was all paper. Anyway, so I've done like a little book. So it is just a lilac, like slide out, closed, stitched cover. And then I've obviously put the design on it. And inside it is just like kind of small sticker sheet inserts. So my thinking behind this was that, if you don't know, I have transferred a lot of my washi tape onto washi sample cards. So I haven't got one, but I wrap the washi that way. So I have like one washi tape there, and then another, and then another. And you can fit roughly 3 on your standard size card, but they fit in here. And I have books like this that I made myself, and then I found this and I was like, oh my goodness, and it's the colour I wanted. So that's why I decided to put them in the calendar. So you can use it as a washi book. I've just thought of another 2 uses, in fact. You could also use it for a sticker sampler sheet, sticker sampler sizes, because I haven't got one, because I don't keep mine on sampler pieces, but you know, the ones that people hand out at events and stuff that are like that standard size, they'd fit nicely in here. The other thing, I mean, here's another one, look, date dots, like date dots, they fit nicely in there. Who knew? I've got all these ideas now. And I reckon a lot of die cuts would probably fit in here too. So you could use it as a die cut book if you wanted. Like that, I've just thought of so many uses. And I think what I'm going to use mine for is actually a cash envelopes. So I thought about doing a 100-day challenge, and I'll talk more about that in another video. But I ordered some inserts for a binder I already have, and the inserts didn't fit the binder. So I decided to send the inserts back and just not keep them. And I was like, actually, I could just put numbers on here, and I could just do like a what is equivalent to 100 envelopes, however many this would be. But this turned out exactly how I wanted it to. I went off on a proper tangent then. I've just thought of all these uses for it that I've, like, before I was like, oh, people are going to think it's weird, like, because not everybody keeps their washi like I do. But I don't know how it will cope with lots of washi cards in it, is the only thing. But I like to think that because it's not like a popper seal, that there's a lot of give in there for... It's just whether the spine can handle it. But it looks like it's got a proper amount of give. And the washi book idea, I do have to give some credit to Linda at the Grumpy Tortoise, because actually I started doing that because I saw how she stored her washi. That was her personally, not her in her shop. But the idea initially stemmed from her, and then it's kind of just taken on a life of its own. So yeah, I've got these as well. And there are some of these left, so I'm going to add them to the shop. But yeah, so that's my day 18, which I don't know where to put this stuff now. I'm like at the point where there's just too many items. Not that that's a bad thing. I hope that you feel the same if you ordered this calendar. And then day 19 is the rest of the kit. So again, standard vertical, you would get 2 sheets, and you get the full boxes. So now I hope that the flowers on the back of that paper make sense, because it pulls in from this kit basically. I love this kit. I think it's one of my best pieces of work so far. I really love it. I felt like that about this one when I did this one last year, this Starlight Dreams one. I was like, that is my best piece of artwork so far. But I feel like this has kind of gone one step further. And I'm hoping that over time people are seeing an improvement in my artwork as well. And then that's your day covers and your washi strips. So yeah, another 2 sheets of stickers. But yeah, now I've seen it all together, and actually seeing it like this, like on a proper what I would consider to be a proper unboxing of mine, it feels really different, but I'm really, really proud of myself. I can't believe that I've managed to actually pull this together in the amount of time I had to do it either. Right, because you know, if you heard me on the podcast, the UK Planner podcast, I get like an hour a day. Not that I've listened to that yet. I still don't know what that's like. I still haven't listened to myself. I'm a bit scared of it, I think. Right, so what are we on? Day 20. Now this one, I love this one. I'm grinning from ear to ear because I'm just so proud of it. This is another washi tape that I do have another one that's open, so I will unroll it to show you. But it's my little rainbow, guys. And you might remember, if you've seen me before, how much I've really got into the Care Bears this year. So this was kind of inspired by the Care Bears, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, so I've got my little guys on a rainbow, like in front of the rainbow, on a like purpley background. And the colours, again, are more saturated than I intended, but I think it actually delivers very well on the paper. So let's just start chucking it down with rain, so sorry if you can hear that. So then that's the other washi tape. I'm just so happy with it. I'm really happy with it. It's not what I thought it was going to look like, but I am still very happy with it. Then day 21 is a special envelope, because it's even got, I wanted to do all the envelopes in this, but these envelopes were so expensive. I was just like, I can't do it for all of them. So I had this tissue paper that had like a starry pattern all over it. And I wanted you to open it and get the feeling of like having the calendar open in front of you. And I thought this kind of envelope would be perfect for that, but I just could not get it to work within the budget, given the amount of other costs I had. You know, I've made very little profit on these anyway, and then if I start spending it all on envelopes, just for people to just open it and throw them away, not all people, but some people, I was like, do you know what, I'll just do it for the one. And I have got a stack of these because I was my tester, but I'll just pull out what would be in the calendar. In fact, I'm going to put those to one side because I don't want to lose them. And that's one of my other washies, by the way, just while we're here, because you can't buy this stuff yet. It's like, it's not in the shop. And if you didn't buy the Advent, you're probably not going to get all of it anyway. I don't know. Like I've got some of these left, but they're not finished. I don't know if I can bear to make any more. But, you know, there's a few bits and bobs. Anyway, but this is day 21, which is a nameplate for your planner. But I put in 2 because I thought a lot of people have more than one planner. And that on its own just felt a bit sad. So I put in 2 because I thought I've gone to the trouble to make it and design it, that you might as well have 2 of them. Yeah, I'm really proud of how that turned out. I think it kind of pulls both sides of the kit, both sides of the collection together. So like the rainbow side and the aurora side. And it took, again, another thing that just took me forever to design, but pleased with it. I'm probably singing my own praises. Why can't I do this on like a normal day? This one, love this one, love this one. Do you know what? If I was a customer, I design what I love. That's why I'm like, I love this one, I love this one. And it is heavily wrapped up on the inside because it is so fragile. So fragile that I'm gonna make a mess now as well. But I loved making these 2 and they are so cute, and I had a little army of them at one point and I forgot to take a picture of it, and I am absolutely gutted that I did not take a picture of my little army of Pip note holders. I really wish I took a picture of them all, because they were all different. Like none of them are exactly the same, and the reason for that is they're all handmade. So every single piece, like I bought the like thing, but then the rest of it is all handmade by me. I didn't bend that wire myself. I could have done, but I just didn't. I thought, you know, there's enough love that's gone into this, but I've just, you know, he's just a little note holder basically. One of these you used to get in the 90s. It's just a little note holder, so you can put in a photo or whatever you wanted. Yeah, but none of them are the same because I made them all by hand, and I'm looking at him now and I'm like, I'm so proud of myself. I love it. I absolutely love it. But that's one of my favourite pieces. But that was one of the first things I decided I wanted to do. I'm going to have to lay him on one of these things here. That was one of the first things I decided I wanted to do. So I started those really, really early. But I, again, underestimated how much work it would be to make that many. But I'm just trying to put this bit of paper away. But I am really gutted. I did not get my photograph of my army of little pips, pip note holders. But never mind, because I've kept one for myself, and I've got a couple left. I don't know if I'm going to add him to the shop or not, because it's again a lot of work. So day 23, we'll hopefully pull all of this together in a journal kit of rainbows, and I called it Rainbow Shine. I think I am going to add this kit to the shop because I really love it, and I hope everybody else does too. But it's just how my journal kits are normally. You get 2 pages with all your day covers and loads of deco. I try to include a lot of different shapes and splodges and deco, because I also think that if you've got a sheet of stickers, you want to use up all the space, but it's really hard not to make it look too cramped together. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so another 2 sheets of stickers, which I've got nowhere to... It's not going to fit in the frame, is it? I think it's a reality. It's not going to fit in the frame. Not that this is going to be my thumbnail anyway, because I don't want to spoil the video before we even get to the video. Right, and then day 24 is another big one. And these, I'll tell you about it afterwards. But is a big one, and it's a pencil case. But it's a big pen case, like a really big one, and I put my rainbow design on the back because I thought that probably would appeal to more people, because it was a bit more neutral than the kind of starry sky, because I know that can be I know the galaxy thing is a love it or hate it type thing, but I suppose you wouldn't have bought this calendar if you hated it. But I just thought it went nicer with the colours of these pouches as well. They are all pink in the advent calendar. I have made myself a blue one, so this one is going up for sale, and there'll be a couple of others as well. But the other side is just some clear pockets, and you can put pin badges and stuff in here, and then it opens out and it sits like a 90-degree angle when it's full of stuff. Airbags. I'm going to put that to one side because I am going to put this one up for sale. But it sits at like a 90-degree angle when it's got loads of stuff in it. And it's got tons and tons of pockets. You can put all your notebooks and your pens and all sorts in it. And I'm pretty sure it also fits a planner in there too, if you wanted it to. So yeah. Now, I've had these in my house for 8 months. I saw them at the start of the year. I bought them. I was just like, I'm buying them now because otherwise I'm not going to be able to get them and they'll go out of stock and stuff. And since then, Marshmallow Studio released something that is exactly the same thing. It's the same item, it's just got a different design on it. Released basically the same thing. It's the same item, it's just got her design on it. And she does them in all different colours and stuff. But I've had these for so long, I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it anyway. And once I designed this, I was like, it's going to be perfect. And I'm really pleased with it. I am really pleased with it. But I am aware that there is another shop that has a very similar product. And by all means, go and buy hers if mine's not in stock. But yeah, mine's my own design. So it's up to you, you know. But yeah, I didn't want to sit here and pretend it was completely unique, because it's not. I am a bit gutted that she started doing that when I've had them in my house for so long. Getting up, my husband just moving the box just constantly. He's like, when is this box going to go? I'm like, Advent, Advent, Advent. And it just sat there. It just got moved around and moved around. But yeah, we got there in the end, didn't we? We got there in the end. But I've made myself a blue one. Because I don't really do pink. I'm not really a pink person. I prefer the blues and the lilacs and the greens. So I made myself a blue one. And that's what it looks like in blue. So whilst I've got a couple of pink ones left, I'm considering whether to do them in more colours. And if that's something you do want to see, then let me know. I did also experiment with doing some stuff on the other side. It was a bit too tricky. It's fine for my own, but I just wasn't happy with it, with, selling it and stuff. but the interior is exactly the same. And it's, you know, but yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to keep a pink one as well. I probably won't, because I'm quite happy with the blue one being my one, because I'm more likely to use it than I am the pink. But yeah, so that's kind of the last product, unless I can't put that there. I've got nowhere to put it. Unless you paid for your calendar very early on, and you might remember seeing a sneak peek of this. This is a bad example because mine's got loads of purple colour on it that shouldn't be on there. But I didn't want to make another one just to wrap it up. I do have some materials left, but I don't know whether I'm going to put them in the shop, because again, a lot of work goes into these. But it is a pen pot. And it's just like an acrylic pen pot. The other side was like a tester. And then I made all of those pieces on the front of that, on the front of it. So it's just a pen pot that sits on your desk. And if you ordered before a certain time, this was the free gift this year. I think next time, in hindsight, if I do another bonus gift, it's not going to be this significant. Because I then felt bad for the people that didn't order within that time and didn't get one. And I was like, I feel really in turmoil as to whether or not I still give this away, or add it as a day in the calendar. But because I'd already spoken about it being the bonus day and that being the sneak peek, I thought I then don't want to disappoint anyone who did place their order early because they wanted it as like an exclusive gift and then didn't get it that way. There's so many minefields to tread, isn't there? So many. But yeah, so that's why I didn't end up putting it in the main calendar. But if you ordered early enough, that's what you got as your free gift this year. Last year it was my first ever washi tape, and this year it's this. So yeah, that is my 2024 Aurora Advent Calendar in its entirety. And in fact, it's not the blue one, is it? It's the pink one. I don't even know how to put all of this in one photograph. But I am going to try, because I think it will just be useful to see in the future. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and this kind of mammoth trail of my creativity, and that you really like the products. I'd love a bit of feedback. Even if you didn't buy one, just a bit of feedback on it would be great. Like I say, it was £65 plus postage. I feel like it's a lot of stuff for 65 quid. And I probably overdid it again, particularly now I'm looking at my profit at the end of all of it. But, you know, that's by the by. Because I've also now got some stuff for me. So I've got, like, my own thing. And I've got my own washi tape and this, that and the other. So, you know, it is what it is. I do it for the love and not for the money. Right, yeah, so a bit of feedback in the comments would be really nice. Try and keep it positive if you can, and if you don't have anything nice to say, please don't say anything at all. Thanks. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see some more from me, hit the subscribe button down below, because I'd love to have you back. Take care, everyone. Bye.